Hi everybody, we're going to take video notes from the 8th grade Common Core, lesson 4.1, linear equations. Within these notes, everything I write down, you need to write down. If at any time you get confused, I'd like you to stop and rewatch that part again. Also, please use the margins of your paper to write down any questions. Email me those questions or come prepared to go ahead and ask those questions in class. The first thing that you need to do is copy down the definitions that's bubbled up. You need to be familiar with what the definition of a linear equation is. And a linear equation is an equation whose graph is a line, straight line, all right? Linear meaning a line. So you are looking for an equation whose graph is a line, and the points on the line are the solutions of the equation. So you're going ahead and looking at x and y as the solution for a linear equation. We're going to go ahead and graph linear equations using a table for all 4 examples today. The first thing you're going to go ahead and do is you're going to create a table for example 1. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to choose y values, we're going to choose x values to plug into this equation and evaluate, solve for y, and then come up with an x, y ordered pair. So we're going to start with a table that looks like this. Okay. And within that table, I'm going to show you up close. I have x, I have y equals negative 2x plus 1, I have a y column, and then I have an xy column. Move a little closer to see that part. All right, perfect. All right, so I am going to go ahead and require typically 5 x values in order to go ahead and graph. I always pick the same y value or x values if there is only integers that are being used, and these are the x values that I typically use. So now what I'm going to do is with these 5 x values, I'm going to evaluate them into my expression, negative 2x plus 1. That means negative 2 times 0 plus 1, negative 2 times 1 plus 1, negative 2 times negative 1 plus 1, negative 2 times 2 plus 1, and negative 2 times negative 2 plus 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. Negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 2 is 2, so 2 plus 1 is 3. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4 plus 1 is negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Now, I use my x value and my y value, and I go ahead and write an ordered pair. 0, 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1, 3, 2, negative 3, and negative 2, 5. Those 5 ordered pairs will be used to go ahead and graph my equation. So, you were given 4 coordinate planes. Please use those to graph. And what that'll look like, I'm going to eyeball mine. So you can use your dashes on yours. This is my x, this is my y axis, and I'm literally going to go ahead and graph the point 0, 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1, 3, 2, negative 3, negative 2, 5. Okay, if I was using perfect, of course it would be perfect, but I didn't. I just told you I eyeballed it. Now, I connect the dots of those, connect the dots. Now, you know you made your table correct if your line is straight. If you have a random point, you messed up, go back and do your table again. So, what I do is I pick a minimum of 5 x values, plug them into the expression, find the y value, list the x and y's, graph them on a graph. And I've given you the coordinate plane to graph them perfectly. I'm just eyeballing. So this line right here is the equation y equals negative 2x plus 1. You've just grafted a linear equation. We're going to do the same thing with example 2. Example 2 has a fraction in the equation. Now, I picked these 0, 1, negative 1, 2, and negative 2 x values because I only had whole numbers. It doesn't make sense for me to go ahead and pick these same values because I don't want to graph a fraction. It's too hard. So I want to go ahead and pick x values that are going to make sense so I have whole numbers. Now, because there's a 4 there, I want to pick values that are multiples of 4. So I'm going to pick 0, 4, -4, 8, and -4. That way, when I go ahead and plug them into this equation, 3/4 x plus 2, I'm going to end up with whole numbers. So always pick multiples of the denominator. So 3/4 times 0 plus 2, 3/4 times 4 plus 2, 3/4 times -4 plus 2, 3/4 times 8, oh, this should have been a -8, plus 2, 3/4 times -8 plus 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 3 plus 2 is 5. -3 plus 2 is -1. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. -24 divided by 4 is -6. -6 plus 2 is -4. Now, I list my x and y coordinates. 0, 2, 4, 5, -4, -1, 8, 8, and -8, -4. By going ahead and using my table, I've gone ahead and I created ordered pairs that I'm going to graph. You have the graph. I'm just going to be eyeballing it. So 0, 2, 4, 5, -4, 1, 8, 8, -8, -4. Now, in the event you graphed and it's not a straight line, you messed the table up. Go back and check your math, your computation. So I have just graphed the linear equation, 3/4 x plus 2. Now on these lines, every single ordered pair on the line, when plugged back into the equation, the original equation, will make the statement true. So the solution is the point. So any point on here, when plugged in, it's going to work. So when you're doing example 1 and 2, you're making a table. You would need at least 5 x values. Be smart about what x values you pick. I make some positives, make some negatives, and I always pick 0. By evaluating, you find the x and y ordered pairs, graph it. Should be in a straight line. If it's not, you messed up the table. Okay? In example 3 and 4, these have y equals -3 and x equals -2. If I were to go ahead and make a table, all of the values for y have to be -3. That means anything can be the values for x. When I graph this, if y is 0, -3, 1, -3, 2, -3, -1, -3, -2, -3. Hey, guess what happens? When y is -3, that ends up being a horizontal line. So, if you are given a y equals a value, you know it's going to be horizontal because all the points have to be on -3, creating a horizontal line. The opposite's going to happen when they're given an x value. So x has to be 2. I can pick anything I want. When I graph it, it's going to go ahead and be 2, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, -1, 2, -2. That is a vertical line, and that is x equals 2. So, y equals is going to give you a horizontal line, and x equal is going to give you a vertical line. You don't even need a table for those, but be aware that y equals are going to be horizontal and x lines are going to be vertical. So, you need to make sure you have everything copied down. Make sure you have your tables copied down. Make sure you have your graphs copied down. Make sure that anything I wrote down, you wrote down. Make sure you're copying down questions. If you need anything, you're sending an email. All right? Write those things down. Come prepared to talk about this tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.